call.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Marion County Commission meeting to order, January March 2nd. Is there any public comments? Any additions to the agenda, questions?
I'd like to make just a statement at some point, wherever you want to plug it in.
Commission comments.
Whatever, that's fine. Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there ready?
Okay, first we have change orders.
Yes.
Next, I have the minutes of February 27. I did see where I needed to make a correction on the sales tax that was received. I put for the month of November and it's actually December. So I made that correction.
Any additions or corrections?
Motion to approve with the noted text change. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and that's all I have.
Isaac had sought bids for the tree removal out of the county lake. And so I asked him to go ahead and come during administrative time and present those to the board. This is for that big cottonwood that's down in the flood area. And then
I have 7 copies.
They're all the same.
They are all the exact same, yes. Oh, the one that's top on the state, yeah, this one is, this just has the independence record on there, so if you wanna give that to Tina. But,
Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just checking to see.
So the only difference, yeah, that one, the one that you have to the health
One
insurance.
packet.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
So we went ahead on this project, you'll see what we ended up doing is we got two bids. One to take down, there was a total of 6 trees down there. That'd be the big one that fell. And then there were some other decent sized trees that were down. And then we asked for another bid to go ahead and clean up all of the flood debris or brush that had come down that creek channel and got blocked by that big cottonwood tree that had fallen there. So we ended up getting 3 bids from 3 different contractors. On the top page, to get down the trees that are down, get those cleaned up from John Beal, we had a total of 11,500. To get all of the debris that was down would add an additional 3,000 to that for a total of 14,500. The second bid came from BP Tree Company. For the down trees, he was at 3,900, and then for all of the brush and debris was an additional 1,300 for a total of 5,200. And then the third bid we received was from Sunny Slope. And to get the down trees was 8,750, and then for the debris was an additional 6,750 for a total of 15,500.
Quite a difference, isn't there?
Yes. 2 were pretty close, but 1 was pretty significantly under.
Do you know all of them?
I do know all of them, yes.
And that BP done some tree work before?
Out at the lake. Yeah, he hasn't done any bigger tree work. I know that he's helped us with a bunch of the stumps that we've had out there before. Done a couple of trees, but yeah.
Has he done a good job in the past? I mean,
I've never had any problems, yeah.
He's from Florence.
Yeah, he used to be out of Hillsborough, and then he said he had just moved over to Florence here recently.
Local too.
Yeah, all 3 of them are local.
And they have a clear understanding of the scope.
Yes. All 3 of them, I personally went down to, I mean, they all showed up and we walked through and looked at everything and did all of that.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to take the apparent low bidder.
OUP.
Right.
I would second that one.
On that, would that be to do everything?
Yeah. Put it all up.
All licensed and bonded and all that?
Yes.
Any other discussions?
Only comment, if we would get in there and be additional yet, besides that basic, there'd be enough money to cover.
Yeah, well, and I know
some more
too,
if, just not knowing the whole,
and kind of
if
what,
we get into something that
Yeah.
wasn't part of this.
and that's kind of, I mean, talking to them as well. If we can at least get, like we've told them, it's just kind of how we came up with the bidding process. If we can at least get down those down trees, would be a big thing. All that debris and stuff would be really nice to have it cleaned up. And then some point this spring or summer, it's probably gonna end up getting high again. And then this fall, we could even get back down there and look at it and see
I
kind of.
mentioned to you the other day, we may have to pump some water out of there
Well,
to even.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, because on the bid, on the scope of work we had that we wanted this done March 31st, and kind of all 3 of them said the same thing, that they can't promise that it'll be done by March 31st, depending on the conditions there, because when it's wet, it is pretty soupy down there where those are located. So
So where are they hauling the stuff to our tree dump?
we can take some out at the lake, and it included that, and I talked to all of them about that. We will take as much as we can until we're full, and then once we're full, the remainder of it we'll probably have to go to town. We have some we burnt last fall, early November. We were down to nothing. We have put quite a bit in there from November till now. We do still have quite a bit of room in there. Talking to Tina, I don't know if I'll be able to take all of it, but we'll take as much of it as we can out there, and that helped the price significantly since it's a lot
If the
closer.
grass is still green, I think we could set some of that afire.
Yeah.
As soon as they start on that, if we need to. Couple days ahead of time and get it burnt down some. It's not like the grass is gonna be so dry,
Yeah.
causing a problem to mower nothing.
You ready? Motion on the floor, I guess.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Good luck, Isaac.
Thank you.
So I sent you an email about Doyle Creek watershed. The commission had already approved for them to install a low water crossing. So the only thing, I sent you, the minutes when that was approved by resolution. The only thing that they need now is a signature stating that we are filing this, the notice of permanent mitigation project. And so I send that to you to look at. I've got a paper copy here. It's probably something I could have signed saying it was on file, but I didn't know. I didn't want to surprise anyone, so.
Make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign.
Guess there wouldn't be any statute of limitations on that.
No.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I have a question on the photos in that packet you sent.
Yep.
The photo of the stream crossing, that's right before the,
That's one that they brought as an example of what they were gonna do.
okay, because I was gonna say, that's not there.
Right.
I thought that's what it was, I just wanted to clarify that that's not the same place.
I knew where you headed with it, so I figured I'd answer your.
Thank you.
What would make a low water stream crossing more permanent than those concrete blocks that are already there?
Those
They're not
aren't
there.
They're not there?
No, that's what they're gonna,
That's a different location.
Oh, okay.
That's somewhere else where they built something similar and they showed
Well,
it.
that's just showing as an example. Okay. Cause I thought, was there one there?
That's what Clark said. That isn't
And
there.
I'm just not there, 'cause I know I've been down that road, I would remember going through that.
okay.
Okay, it's ready for Sharon?
Yes, I did have one more question for you all. As far as that visit to the data center at WSU on March 13th, I would like to know who wants to go. So Jonah,
Let me check the calendar. I do. That's a Friday, right?
yes, Friday the 13th at 12 o'clock.
Okay. What time would we be back? How long is that supposed to last?
I would say you can last as long as you want it to. Like if you need to bug out, you
Drive
probably
yourself.
I
could.
mean, I have to be back by evening, put it that
Oh
way.
yeah, it should only last an hour and a half, I would think. But
Go ahead and put me down then.
okay. Like, are you?
Is there any registration fee?
No.
Put me down if something comes up I can't go, I guess it's
Okay.
anticipate trying to go.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for that. And now, yes, I'm ready. That's all I have. I did provide my report to you by email and on the table today. Feel free to follow up if you have questions.
If you're ready for Sharon then?
I'm not sure if you received it. I sent an email with the draft document in it. Just recently. All right, so at the February 23rd meeting, your board had discussed Article 19 text amendments, and the consensus of the board was to direct staff to update the draft resolution for adoption at this week's meeting to include the definition of owner occupied. And Brad had drafted a definition, and that includes, I have two documents that were emailed to you. One is a clean copy of that resolution, if that's how you so wish to approve it. The changes made on that resolution are in a document that have it highlighted, basically updating the date to March 2nd. And also in that fourth whereas, on March 2nd, 2026, the Marion County Board of County Commissioners, by a 2/3 majority vote of the membership of the governing body, voted to override the Planning Commission's recommendation with respect to Article 19-105. The governing body's determination is to adopt the recommended text amendments with the addition of defining owner occupied within the text. And then down below, where you see existing language, points B, the last sentence reads, owner occupied shall be defined as an owner occupying and living at the property for 180 days or more in the applicable calendar year. So I guess that's up for discussion from your board.
I have a question, then in the proposed new language, that sentence is left out, so. If you go down to, it's changed in the existing language.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've got proposed new language, and it's not included in that. Go down to the next section. Proposed new language, part B. I'm confused.
It's because I put it in the wrong one. I put it in the existing and it needs to go in the proposed. Sorry, we were working together this morning to get this put together. So that would need to go under the proposed language under item B. And it would read the same. It would read, the unit shall be located within the principal residential dwelling and unit on the property and may not be located within an accessory building unless the principal residential dwelling unit is owner occupied, and then have that sentence added down there.
And what, and the proposed new. Okay, let me add that.
It got changed in the existing language.
Yeah, instead of the proposed. It should not be in the existing, it should be in the proposed.
I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Copy and paste it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to print it though.
You can email it. We got a timestamp of it being a later date.
I can go in my office and print it. me. But I will go ahead and email it now, if I can.
Sorry about that, Tina.
Please. Okay, that's right.
Brad, are you pleased with the way that that's
That's
worded? Okay.
Try to keep it simple.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get it?
Struggling to open it.
Okay. I will relocate and work from the.
I was gonna say, I can
master.
resend it and then have it emailed to you to have printed off and before the end of the meeting if you prefer. However you wanna do that.
Well, I don't know if you guys have anything to talk about with it, but I can probably do
Okay.
it like real quick.
Does that definition suffice for
Perfect.
you were looking for?
It needed to be in the right place.
Yeah, we were
Right
Working on
field,
it.
instead of left field.
working on a time crunch this morning and that was an oversight. My apologies.
Might as well pull it, because it's still in a cloud-based file.
I can't get to her SharePoint, so.
Oh, you're good this morning. It's pictures and stuff. Charity was Wednesday.
I proposed that Kent had a statement. Just plug it in now. If he's up to it. I don't know if you heard me. You said you wanted some time to make a statement or something, and I thought maybe we could fill this gap.
Sure, I can do that. At last week's meeting, Brandy Smith presented information that was directed to me, saying that I had been disingenuous with the residents of Marion County when it comes to asking for a resolution to ban wind and solar in the 4 townships in southwest Marion County, and that the new text regulations would take care of those matters. First of all, I want to applaud planning and zoning for all the work that they did do all of that. But I take for granted that she felt like that I was going to vote against those regulations. And never once did she contact me individually to ask me where I stood on that. Hey, I'm open to criticism all the time. I've been sitting here since 2016. Criticism is not a new thing for me. But to be criticized without the knowledge of how I was going to vote on that, I think is questioning my integrity and my reasoning.
For what it matters.
And, I'm open to talking to anybody as long as we have a civil dialogue. I've made that a trademark. But she was never in contact with me on an individual basis anyway, to say, hey, where are you at on that? I couldn't explain it.
Did one in the packet.
Well, for what it's worth to you, Kent, I never thought we couldn't do both. So I never thought anything was, no wool was being pulled over anybody's eyes.
But when you use the word disingenuous, it refers to a lot of different things which are not good. So I just, I thought that I should respond to that. I was kind of taken back and really wasn't quite expecting that, but anyway, that's fine. Like I said, criticism is fine. We all get criticized from time to time, and that keeps us alert, I guess. So anyway, just thought I would respond to that.
Thank you. Sharon now.
Okay, so do you have any other questions or comments? Tina printed off a copy that has made that change, moved that sentence from existing to proposed.
Do you want to put a resolution number on it? Oh, you wanted to see it? Oh, okay. I tried to put it back in the packet, but I couldn't apparently do that, so.
This will be 2026-11. I make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-11. A resolution approving the text amendments to the zoning regulations of Marion County, Kansas. In particular, changes to Article 19-105.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye.
I was just giving you time to make the second, since it was in your area. About it the first time, so as you say it's there, it's there. You need a pen? You need a pen? Sometimes a red pen is a no-no.
Mr. No-No.
I don't know if it matters this time around, but I've been scolded a time or two about it, so just trying to bail you out.
Use red pens for certain things.
And I've been scolded, just reminded that we use red pens for certain things.
It's quite official.
He was excited about this one.
If I'm gonna get scolded for today, we're good.
Not scolded, just reminded.
Anything else, Sharon? Or?
Not for me. Do you have anything else for me?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are you gonna talk about that moratorium for data centers? Is that one of your first things? And maybe Sharon would like to stick around for that part. stay in the loop.
Almost made it.
I know, right? She was red.
Do I get to sit over there or?
It ran faster.
Yeah, I know, right?
First one is on the temporary moratorium. After the presentation last week, that was incredibly helpful from my perspective in terms of a bunch of information and sources for additional information. So I did not choose, because I hadn't been instructed to make significant changes to the definitional section, which is way broader than they believe, they being our presenters last time, feel is necessary. I did on Friday and Saturday get some suggested narrower language, but I hadn't been instructed to utilize that. So I left it the way it was presented to you. The only change that I made, and I will be happy to hand that out because by the time we got through, that was all I ended up doing. And I still left the 90, where we discussed 90 days as opposed to 1 year or various other times. Left that blank still in case after further thought this week, we were thinking something else which could be filled in. Sorry, Tina. The only change literally from what you'd previously looked at is the highlighted portion in the middle of the first page, which are the definitional things that Commissioner Gearing had suggested. And I put those in terms of occupying less than 1 acre, being excluded, and then also the 10 megawatts. Everything else, I think generally, other than that paragraph or that whereas section, is probably definitionally appropriate. It's just a question of whether you want it, and there's no reason, you can leave it that broad if you wish and let planning and zoning narrow that down some for you. If you'd like for me to bring some of the suggested language that I got over the weekend, I'm happy to bring that as well. These resolutions are the type of thing that are so readily amendable that if you're like, oh, I'm really concerned about making sure we have something in place today, then it can be passed as is with a 90-day or whatever term you want to use. And then if planning and zoning suggests a narrower definitional portion of what a data center is, I don't think cryptocurrency will be impacted. We can always amend it. I suspect you're going to go beyond 90 days by the time this is through anyway, so you're probably going to revisit this in 3 months. So I guess I'm looking for thoughts, input from the board as to whether, well, okay, we want to go with this broad definition, or no, we'd really rather narrow it down up front. Candidly, a lot of the things that I received over the weekend, never seen before, in terms of how they define it. It all makes sense, but it's far narrower than this.
I think in the environment that we're in, this is just going to be evolve. And, I think probably planning and zoning need to be.
I don't disagree.
It's a new adventure for everyone.
I gave thought to sending something with those sections put in it, but all I'm gonna do is confuse this process a bit.
What number is this one? Resolution 12.
Well,
Okay.
I know even Sedgwick County now is talking about, I don't know how that's gonna affect the data center we heard about at WSU.
They were one of the ones I talked to on Friday and then heard back very late in the day. We still need to talk about this some more in terms of what we wanna say about it as well.
I think it's so new for everybody, it's moving forward.
Well, the WSU, aren't those within the city limits?
Well, and
Some
it
of
would
them,
be on state grounds also, I would guess. So I don't know if that has any effect.
Any bearing it?
teaching facility.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, obviously, we've talked about that,
Kansas
before.
owns-
This is unincorporated areas, so.
This just doesn't affect.
Isn't that ground with it being a state college, state-owned?
Yeah.
I assume it is.
Yeah.
Is why
I'm
they
sure
were
it is.
trying to put it there initially, or place to start. Put
upon or considered.
I'm sure that has a lot to do with the Board of Regents would have had some input.
To publish in the notice or whatever in the paper, did we just make sure we only have to publish it once or twice instead of 12 times in the next 2 years? As far as a legitimate cost too. That's my only concern, I think, looking at it.
The general
If it
advantage,
is, it's concern.
general advantage to this paragraph as it's written is it's broader than everything else I've received so far. If you'll recall, when she was presenting, she said, well, she'd looked at this and thought it was probably, she used the term overkill, but that's the impression I had.
I mean, if this gets us over a year down the road before we make any major modifications to it would be adequate.
This one,
If we keep it this broad at this point would be my thought.
this one just what did, I didn't just make up out of whole cloth. It came from a number of jurisdictions that had used something similar in several states. It's pretty broad, but again, that was, I think, their intent. Time to try to encompass anything and everything because it is such a new technology. And it continues to evolve very dramatically and rapidly.
And I think, Mike, your comment was more directed toward the length of time that the moratorium should be in place,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because if we make it a certain amount and then you
Yeah,
have to
I'm sorry.
publish it again
Yeah,
to
I'm
extend
following.
it.
I mean, to approve this broad a one for, we're not gonna get it in Marion County tomorrow for sure, or considered yet, I don't think. But we're still not shutting the door on it 100%.
This is to get planning and zoning started thinking about it.
But anything we adopt and has to be publicized, I just don't wanna have to print it
Keep doing it.
extra several times if we can avoid the cost.
That's why I left the term blank, because I thought there might be more discussion. We talked about 90 days last time, and they had made that recommendation 60 or 90. Pretty short, relatively speaking. I think everybody recognizes that. For the Planning and Zoning Commission that meets once a month.
That's not gonna give them much time to
Yeah.
look at any of this.
So I didn't
Say at
put
least
that
a
in
year.
intentionally.
Maybe I'll be
Say
within 6 months. I don't know.
Whatever you want to do.
It's whatever, I mean, it's just my thought is saving that publication fee is as much as we can if we have to republicize every time we change it.
Different opinion, I'll put a year on the best, since we made allowances for the utilities to do what they need to do, and it doesn't put the brakes on anything there. So I'm more in favor of the shorter term. Make them put this at the top of their priority list, because the deadline is quicker.
That's the reason it's blank. I figured there would be discussion today.
So you think it's 6 months or keep it at 9 weeks,
You said 90 days.
Yeah,
90 days?
I guess I'll throw it out there. If I get voted down, I get voted down, but I'll make a motion to pass resolution 2026-12. Resolution providing temporary moratorium as it applies to data centers in Marion County. This resolution should take effect and be in full force and effect from and after its adoption and publication in the official county newspaper, and shall remain in effect until June 1st.
So I'll second that. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
4 to 1. Passed.
You just have to fill in the date.
You wanna go ahead and put the June 1st?
That republication is a good idea. I mean, good thing to keep in mind.
Just pull the fast one. I would.
I'm not against the resolution, just the timeline.
I know we're doing that. But I also know on this, if we don't hit the accelerator, we don't get looked at. Whether or not we want it at that time, it's irrelevant. It's just, we don't even get the chance.
So that will be put off until work session item on our March 26th planning commission.
You're allowed to call. Or your chairman's allowed to call extra work sessions, right? In order to achieve it. Or
We have the ability to have special meetings.
Okay.
Yes, basically there's a 10-day notification to your board and we have to post it. I don't think that requires publication for a special meeting. However, we can't act on anything until it has been publicly noticed.
Gotta say your piece.
On the other item today, in terms of, it's still in process, but contact with Orsted Sunflower regarding tax issues, and then also the drainage that Tom had brought up last time. Discussed a bit already, different relief consistent with what Commissioner Dirks had suggested perhaps, and they're taking a look at that. Didn't hear from them this morning. I had indicated, if they had any update before the meeting today to let me know.
I met with Steve on the way here in town, and he said he was gonna meet with Orsted here after a while, so.
Oh, good.
He asked me what I wanted him to do, and so I probably didn't.
They were supposed to meet at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Well, that explains why I didn't hear anything this morning.
Yeah.
So that's the only other thing I had today that had any substantive change.
I have some things that for executive with you. If you don't have anything else for planning and zoning for anything today?
Sure.
I have
Good time to run?
one thing to add to that discussion. Looking at Expedition Wind's development agreement. Shouldn't have went back. The Roads Management Working Group will be managed by Expedition Wind's traffic engineer and the Roads Management Working Group. Blah, 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 blah. Beginning 91 days post COD, which is, I assume, the construction, Roads Management Working Group will consist of only one designee from Expedition Wind, the county engineer, the county road superintendent, and a landowner designated by Expedition Wind. Annually after the COD until decommissioning, the Roads Management Working Group will meet annually, invite the county commission to such annual meeting, but in any year, the county engineer and the county commission may elect to cancel the meeting. I guess my question is, have we ever had a roads working group meeting with Expedition Wind since?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
I mean,
We have had them come to the commission. But it was, I couldn't
Shut up.
tell you exactly when that was. Is that something that you'd like to get set up?
well, I mean, it's in their agreement that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would address these issues.
Mhm.
And it's, they agreed to do that, so I would, I mean,
I'd be happy to facilitate that. We do have a month where you just check in regarding any issues that are ongoing or any new issues. So if you'd like for me to facilitate getting that meeting set up, I can, or Brad, or whomever.
Either one of us, and have them come to one of your regular meetings.
Mhm.
I would think.
and maybe if they can, establish this working group and start that I mean, obviously it should have been started a couple of years ago, but That would alleviate some of the,
I think that first year we did. I don't know that there was a second. We discussed it.
So who would you like to initiate that?
I would say Sharon, because you're in contact with them more regular. You actually physically see them every so often.
Yeah, and that would be in conjunction with Road and Bridge.
Both together, yeah.
I do have one more administrative item, and that is, in my report, I noted that we had a leak in the health department from the roof. And, the way that the plans were drawn on that, standing seam roof, they were only, required to crimp that at certain points, not all the way across every seam.
Jeez.
Right, but since we've already had this issue, I have asked what it would cost to just have them go ahead and completely roll all those seams. Because,
That's the way it should be.
right. So, I got an email this morning, Kevin and I did, and the cost to go ahead and do the seams, like crimp the seams all the way across for the entire roof is $3,000. So, I would,
Machine's about half of that, so
Yeah.
it's not a bad price.
I would like to go ahead and get approval to do that, so, hopefully we won't keep having this issue.
Make the motion that we budgeted $3,000 to crimp the roof. I guess we'll
Standing
call it.
seam. I'll second that.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Had to haul one of those machines clear up to Vermillion, South Dakota.
Take down and pay for it.
Yeah, cause the roofers don't own one. I rent one down to Kansas City and I swung through and I went up and got to them and then I wired all day and then I drove home.
Poor
Do you have anything else? Okay. The executive session for 5 minutes for real estate acquisition.
See you later, Sharon.
Thank you.
She's quick that time.
Yeah.
I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss real estate acquisition pursuant to KSA 75-4319B for primary discussion and acquisition of real estate. With the board, Brad and Tina, for 5 minutes. I'll come back to
124.
120
It's about to turn over. 124.
125. All in favor?
Aye.
You need to go,
Which green light. We're back in session now, no decisions was made.
so the next one will be for personnel performance, so the job performance of a specific employee. And I will get that for you.
I had a conversation with Steve. Yes,
It was pretty positive. I was happy.
what's that?
That they were gonna try to find a solution for it.
Oh,
I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss job performance of specific employees for personnel matters pursuant to KSA 754319B for Brad, Tina, and the board for 15 minutes. So it would be 1:45.
And then make sure you read the bottom part too, with open session to resume.
Nice to know now.
Please wrap it up in 15 minutes.
1:45. With open session to resume back in commission following the closed session. All those-
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Our meeting back to order. No decisions were made.
Yeah, one more.
Okay. I'd like to move that we recess an executive session for contract negotiations pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Consult with our attorney in matters deemed privilege under attorney-client privileges. Brad, Tina, and the board for 10 minutes. We're back at 1:57.
Second.
Two, open session will resume back in commission chambers following the closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. It costs too much.
Back in session now. No decisions were made. Commissioner comments?
I don't.
Commission comments, outside board. The KAC, Jay's position is still open until filled. As far as the legal counsel that we can call or from KAC. There's a guy named Craig, I didn't catch his last name, he's part-time. I don't know if Brad, you know him, or some retired guy that has allowed his services. Aaron Mays has been stepping in for the Capitol lobbying. There was a lot of talk about some House bills that in turnover. KCCA is in April. If anybody,
You guys all know that's Kansas County Commissioners Association.
it's gonna be in Hutch, so it's not Pittsburgh or Hayes this time, so.
2 days.
I don't think so, I think it's just
One day.
it's a day. There was some asks for training on QuickBooks, and everybody was a little bit puzzled because most counties, I don't think, deal with QuickBooks, and that's.
We
I
have
said I would ask back here, and if there is,
We do have some departments that use it, but I think they pretty well know what they're doing.
okay. And then the other big topic that got brought up was a legal opinion on the change of value. Has to be mail, and it can't be standard mail. You ever heard of that?
Not standard mail, no.
So it can't be standard mail, it has to be priority mail or something.
First class.
So,
First class mail.
I don't know, just another thing that's never really been caught before and just got brought up, and it's an extra expense.
Bulk rate is not allowed, so that's where you save your most expense.
Anyway,
Those
are- and then county day is March 3rd, which is tomorrow.
I don't know.
KAC taking a position on property tax.
Yeah, they don't want it, cause then it violates the home rule. They would rather it come back to us and.
So the 3% cap that they're talking about.
Yeah, they, and that bill, from what I picked up on it, there was an amendment pushed through on the $60 million piece of it that got actually pulled out. And so when they turned back around, I think Adam Smith from out west has a trigger mechanism in it to kill it, because that piece doesn't exist. So. The Senate bill was another topic was the protest instead of being 10% of a voting district, they were gonna raise it to 5% or lower it to 5%. And it had to be in the Secretary of State size race. So that actually lowers it down to like some of these small towns to 1.5 persons. So, I'm not taking a side on any of it, but there was another one that was interesting to me, the felony and no bond out, and where we would have to hold them in jail until their court date. Just some of the stuff that they're trying to propose just seemed a little just way out there. Blake Carpenter introduced a freedom from taxation, and it was look into exemptions to buy down motor vehicle tax. And when I heard what he was proposing, I jumped behind it. Got seconded and passed, so KAC is behind that one to go ahead and try to, because we don't really make any money on the motor vehicle tax stuff. It's more of a convenience for the constituents and not really anything that does us a lot. So if we can get out of having to do some of that, that would be great.
There's an independent element to the statute that has created some issues elsewhere, let's just say it that way. That the state pays a percentage to the treasurer directly, and it's not part of her compensation through you. And all of the law supports the fact that, no, wait a minute, you can't even consider that when you set their compensation level here.
They said it was a long shot, but I still thought, it was a good idea, something to look into. Yeah, a lot of other bills. Then one other one that wasn't discussed, but then I found out about later was Senate Bill or House Bill 2588, and the fire marshals are pushing through. And it's got to do with licensing on skilled trades, and so code enforcement might be coming our way. All right, there we go. I skipped it last week because it was payday, but it was a lot to take in sitting there. But you can go tomorrow and you can hear all about it. And I'll motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.